Guys, it's day 1 of NaNoWriMo, and I've decided that I'm going to vlog my experience with NaNoWriMo, so this is my first entry because today is November 1st, so I just wanted to take this time to kind of explain to you what I'm gonna do this NaNoWriMo. So I am writing a fantasy story with multiple perspectives that requires a lot of plotting, which I didn't do. I do have a sort of outline with some post-it notes that looks really cool. I have some scenes that I know I want to write, but mostly I have my characters and I'll just see what they're gonna do. I'm mostly very excited to write all about the interactions between the characters with each other and everything like that. So I already wrote, I think, about 900 words last night at midnight when NaNoWriMo started because I'm a night owl and I was still awake, so I was like, might as well just start. That I don't know whether I'm even gonna be able to write 50,000 words. For example, today I'm just like making ready to go to university and I won't be home until in the evening, and there are a lot of days where I'm gonna have to be at university until like 10 in the evening. So I don't know if 50,000 words is gonna be a thing, but my one goal that I do have is that I don't want to quit when I realize I'm not gonna make the 50,000 words. So my goal for this NaNoWriMo is to at least try to continue writing even when I realize that 50,000 words is not gonna happen. Alright, so writing hasn't really been happening. Yesterday evening, I was like, okay, I'm gonna write something because I really need to start writing, and I wrote for about 1.5 hours, and I think I wrote 2,500 words, which is a lot for my doing. So I was very happy with that. So now at least I have a solid starting scene that's done. But it's currently the 4th of November, and I'm only at 3,000 words, so I'm still like definitely very far behind. I realized that the problem that I'm having right now is that I didn't outline enough. Surprise, surprise. I mean, I do have a sort of outline for my beginning, as in I know what's gonna happen, but my outline consists of these very vague descriptions, and then I'm writing, and then I hit this dead end because I don't know how my characters are gonna get out of trouble, and then I have to think of that, and then I don't know what's gonna happen, and then I just stop, and then I don't know how to continue. I said in my NaNoWriMo video that I don't really outline, but I do like to outline about, like, always outline about 3 scenes ahead of myself, but I still haven't done that because I still don't know how my characters are gonna get out of the shit that they're in right now. Also, just to let you know a little bit about how I write, I always really like to write while listening to music. I'm currently listening a lot to the Suicide Squad soundtrack because the songs on there are not my music taste, but they're so good for the story that I'm currently writing. I haven't told you what my current writing story is. Basically, the story that I'm trying to write is it's kind of like a heist story. It is about a group of people who have decided they wanted to steal something together, and they all have special powers, and they use that to fight other people. Oh yeah, a problem that I have quite often is I don't plan my side characters. They just kind of pop up along the way while my main characters are interacting with other people, and then I just kind of develop those side characters as they appear. But what happens quite often is that a side character pops up that I really love, and then I'm like, wow, this character is so cool and interesting, and then I'm more interested in them than my main characters, and then suddenly I'm like, wow, these side characters are more interesting than my main characters. I want to write about them, but I should write about my main characters. But yeah, instead of talking, I really need to start writing something. Hi, so I know in my last update I said I was about to go writing. Yeah, that didn't happen. I think there are 2 problems that I have encountered which are really preventing me to get into my writing. The first thing is that I'm really struggling again with the 3rd person perspective. It's just so much harder I am always someone that really likes to write in first-person perspective because it's so much easier to get in your character's head, and in third-person perspective it's just a lot harder to incorporate opinions and thoughts and voice into the narration. But I have to write in third-person perspective because I have 4 main characters and I can't do all of them in first-person perspective. And the second thing that I'm struggling with is basically just the whole magic system structure that my story has, because basically my story is very reliant on being, well, like, sort of realistic. There is a magic system, but it's very limited, like super, super limited. Like, for example, I can tell you the skill that my main character has is that he can look through objects, so he can see through things. And as you can tell, magic system like that is not so much about, beautiful magic, and it's more about using that one skill in a clever way during action scenes and stuff. And I am always someone that really likes writing about, beautiful, magical, fantastical, whimsical things, and this story very much relies on like clever use of skills and thinking things through. And it's really hard for me because like I mentioned, the point where I'm stuck right now is that I don't know how my characters are gonna get out of trouble, and I need to think of something clever for them to get out, and I don't like doing that. So I'm really struggling with actually enjoying what I'm writing about, which is not good. Yeah, I set myself a goal for this weekend that I wanted to write 5,000 words this weekend, and I really, really want to try to get to that. So I really need to stop vlogging now and get to that 5,000 words, because otherwise nothing's gonna happen. So I hope after this update I actually do some writing. Hi, I just wrote 2,500 words, so that's good. Now I need sleep. Okay, so update. I'm really having trouble right now because, again, I did not write anything today, even though I know my goal was to write 5,000 words. That didn't happen. I wrote something yesterday and I was kind of enjoying it, but today I realized that I just really did not feel like writing. I was like, I have time, I should write right now, but I just really, really don't want to. And I'm just kind of trying to figure out why that is, because there are things about my story that I really like. For example, I really like my characters because I spend a lot of time trying to figure them out. And again, I really like my setting because it's the only thing in the story that's actually very magical. I really like the setting of my story. But just the plot, and I think what I've realized is that the plot of my story is something that I would love to read, but writing it is something completely different. Like, those two things can be very different. I don't know what to do now. I think I just need something completely different. The original idea, where everything stemmed from, was me thinking, oh, what if magic was illegal, like drugs, and how would that happen, and would there be some kind of entire underground scene and a black market and dealing and everything, but with magic, because magic is illegal in this particular fantasy country. But I realized that the story that I currently outlined, it stemmed from that idea, but the original idea is kind of lost. Because I was thinking to myself, oh, I really like heists. I should write a heist story because I think that's cool. And because of that, the story became very focused on this heist thing. And I kind of lost the original idea. So I think I might just have to drop the whole heist thing. But that also means that I lose all of my outlining, everything. And I'm also thinking that I might need to drop the magic system, because it's also limiting me so much. So, but if I were to do that, that would mean that all I have left is a bunch of characters and a setting, and I don't have a plot. I don't really know what to do. Like, do I start over? But I don't know how. Okay, it's 11 a.m. and it's time to brainstorm. I looked through my list of random story ideas and I wrote a bunch of things down in this notebook, and now I just kind of need to come up with something.
So there are 2 main ideas that I really like. First idea is magic only appearing at night, so at night everything is magical and monsters appear, but during the day everything seems normal. The other idea that I really liked is, which I just told you about, is that magic would be illegal and that there's this whole underground black market going on around magic. The only problem is that these two ideas kind of contradict each other. I don't know if these two things are combinable, but these are two ideas that I really like. It will be fun to write a story that is a lot more magical than the one that I'm currently writing, so I would definitely want to use the thing where magic appears at night. Then I have a bunch of random ideas that I just wrote down. I've always really wanted to write a tournament in the style of the Grand Magic games from Fairy Tale, or the Element games from A Dark Shade of Magic. I already have a bunch of characters, so it would be very interesting to follow all those characters as they go into the tournament. That would be very fun. But why would they go to the tournament? And why is magic illegal? Is magic illegal? Okay, so I think I figured it out. What I currently have is a tournament, sort of, that was made up by this mysterious dude that just appeared one night, and this random castle just appeared one night because the night is magical, and in this castle there are all sorts of quests that you can take, and kind of like a tournament with all sorts of puzzles and games. I thought about every night magic appears, but also monsters appear with the magic, so people who can use magic are hired and they kind of group together to fight these monsters, and there are multiple groups of people who are hired to fight monsters, and of course there are like very high esteemed groups of very great wizards, and then there is the like smaller, not very well-known groups. And then these groups of magical people are all trying to get into the castle, and this kind of tournament is happening of who can get to the top part of the castle first. I don't know, this really sounds like some kind of mashup between Sword Art Online and Fairy Tale. I don't know what that's about. I have no idea why people would try to get into the castle. I have no idea what you win if you win the castle tournament. I have no idea why it's there, but I like the idea. And I could just use the characters that I already have and then have them group together to try and win this castle tournament. So it's kind of still like a heist, but it's not really a heist, but it is about a group of people working together to achieve some kind of goal together.
I need to figure out a lot because right now I have no plot, but at least I'm excited again. I like this idea. I hope your NaNoWriMo is going a lot better than mine.